Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Alex and this is TechFlow. This week we're investigating something. We're going to investigate if you can pick up a good quality action camera for under £100. This is the SJ5000X. Let's take a look at it. Just before we start, I want to mention that we're going to be comparing the SJ Cam 5000 to a GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition. Now, this isn't an apples to apples comparison, we're just using the Hero 4 as a reference camera. So, taking a physical tour around the device, on the front we've got a nice big lens, very similar to a GoPro in the same position. We've got a bit of branding, it says SJ Cam and the actual name of the camera, the SJ5000X. Next to that, we've got a mode and on button and two LEDs. Turning the camera onto its side, we've got a micro USB card slot, a micro USB reader, and underneath that what looks like a micro HDMI port, and below that it looks like we've got a little microphone. Turning the camera onto its back, we've got a nice big LCD screen covered with a glossy plastic, and next to that two more activity LEDs. On the top of the camera we've got a nice big red record button, and on the other side of the camera we've got some controls for the actual camera navigating its inbuilt menus, which might add are quite cool. On the bottom of the camera there's a little flap which you can open which reveals the battery, but it's all really flimsy and I've lost the little cap that goes over it numerous times. So in the box, as well as the SJ5000X, you've got a really nice sturdy waterproof housing which represents the build quality of the camera itself, which is pretty good. You've also got some GoPro style like mounts, and I say style, these mounts are literally a copy of the actual GoPro mounts. You can mix and match them and these cameras will just fit in a GoPro mount and GoPro mounts will fit in the SJ mounts. It's pretty much a universal system nowadays. And you've also got some M3 sticky pads which I haven't actually used myself, but I'm assuming they're just like the GoPro ones. And you've also got a little bit of a lanyard, and there's also a really cool accessory. The SJ Cam comes with a tripod mount and a cage roll bar mount, which is really cool, and it's something that I wish GoPro included with their cameras. It's really cool to see it included with the SJ5000. So now let's get back to the basics. The reason you want to buy this camera is because you want to go out and shoot with it. So we're going to compare it to the industry standard top of the line camera, the GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition. We strap both cameras to the front of my car, put them both in their highest quality, which is 4K. Take a look at the results yourself. Now, as you can see, for under £100, you're getting some pretty sharp, crispy, detailed footage from this little camera. But there's one major gripe, and I'm sure you've all noticed it as well. What's going on with those colours? They just don't look true to life. It's really strange, I just can't put a finger on it. Everything looks a little bit too green. I've tried to mess around with the white balance settings inside the camera, and I'm actually getting nowhere with it. The colours just look really odd. Now, I'm sure you can fix this in editing, but it's just really strange. I just don't understand. Did you get what I meant when you look at this? It's really weird, isn't it?
It's just off. It just doesn't look right.
It just is really weird. So as far as the quality is concerned, this thing can go all the way up to 4K at 25 FPS, which is pretty good for a camera under £100. It's good, sharp quality 4K, but the colours just seem a little bit off. And unfortunately, that carries on down the quality scale as well. Even bumping the camera down to 1080p still produces some pretty nice images, but the colours are just wrong. So this is an action camera. You're going to want to be shooting stuff in slow motion. The SJ5000X says it can do 1080 at 60 and 120 at 720. Now, I've tested out the 1080-60, still with the horrible picture colour. It works fine, the slow motion works, and it's true, it's not lying. But where it does lie, and you think, how does a camera lie? Put it down to 720p at 120 FPS. And it just doesn't seem right. You can't slow it down to about 25% in your editing software. It just starts to go all jolty and laggy, and that shouldn't happen if it's actually recording in 120 FPS. I think it's recording more at around 90 FPS, so why it just doesn't say 90 really baffles me. To be honest, 90 FPS is a pretty high and respectable frame rate to be recording sport. You can slow it down pretty well, but there's no need to lie. Just don't need it. Now, as far as the battery life is concerned, after my 2 days of testing this camera for review, by the second day it was just dead, and I think the previous day I'd only recorded about half an hour of 4K footage, so you're probably going to get around half an hour 4K footage out of this guy before you can charge it. But you can use this thing while it is charging, which I found out when I was trying to record this review. I wanted to test out the Wi-Fi, and the battery was dead. I thought I'll plug it in and see if you can actually turn it on while it's charging, and you can, which is pretty cool. So speaking of the actual Wi-Fi, let's talk about it. Now, GoPro's Wi-Fi is really cool. You can go in the GoPro's app on your iPhone or Android phone, download it from the Google Play or the App Store, and you can control things like, well, everything. You can control what frame rate you're recording in, the resolution you're recording in, you can change it to Pro Tune, you can change every single thing on the camera on the actual app, which is absolutely awesome if you've got it mounted to a helmet and you don't want to take it out. You can literally change everything on the phone on the app. Right, but then let's move over to the Suku. The app is really shoddy. First off, when I managed to get connected to the camera, which was pretty simple, it displayed the username and password on screen. Managed to get connected, and as soon as I opened the app, it said that the memory card I was using in the camera wasn't supported, and it recommended that I changed the memory card. So I did that, changed it to a different memory card, and it still said the same thing. But I'm sure it is supported because it seems to be recording to the memory card absolutely fine without any issue. But the app says the memory card's not supported. I didn't know what to do. Like, this message actually kept popping up and stopped me from using the application. The only way I could use the app is by removing the memory card from the camera, which is really frustrating and sort of defeats the whole object of this. So with the GoPro, every setting on the camera you can change on the phone, which is absolutely awesome. Literally everything, and obviously you've also got a wireless live viewfinder. Same with the Suku, except you can't change any settings. All it really does is like a live view, and that is it. I think you can change one setting. I think you can change the actual quality, like 1080p that it records in, but that's all it said. I could change it between 1080 and 720 in the app, but this camera can record 4K, and there's not even an option to change it to 4K. I just don't understand what they're doing. So as far as the picture quality is concerned, this thing boasts a 12 megapixel sensor, so you guys can test that out for yourselves. Let me take a quick selfie here. Yep, using the on-built screen, you can actually play back your files, so it looks like it successfully took that selfie. So you guys can see the quality of it yourself. It's on the screen now. Everything just looks really green. I look like an avatar. I don't understand. What's going on with the colour of this? So weird, I just don't get it. Along with the camera comes some absolutely awesome features, like you can use it as a car dash cam, it has a gyro sensor in it, and loads of other cool things that are all listed on the website. It's just stuff that is a bit gimmicky for me, but it is kind of cool, and I didn't want to test it out because I'm using this thing as an action camera, not a dash cam in my car. If I wanted a dash cam for my car, I'm going to buy a dash cam for my car. I'm not going to buy an action camera and use it as a dash cam. It's stupid. You can also change the field of view. Now, the standard field of view is 170 degrees on this camera. You can change it down to 110. It looks like 170 now and 110 now. Looks like it just sort of zooms into the image. So you may as well just all the time film in 170 degrees and then just crop in your editing software if you want it to be a little bit less of a field of view. There's no point in really changing it on the camera. So that's it. That's my thoughts on the SJ5000X action camera. And you can probably tell I've just been a little bit mellow about it. It doesn't really do anything amazing, but then again, you are getting 4K for £100, which is waterproof and comes with a case and loads of mounts. I just don't really know what to think about it. It's cool, but the colours really annoy me. I want you guys to let me know what you think of the colours and what you think of this entire package in the comment section down below, because I myself am really undecided about whether I like this camera or not. The price tag is really good, but the app sucks. The quality of the colour sucks. But then again, you do get 4K under £100. It just baffles me. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like rating and a comment section down below. For now, this has been TechFlow. My name's been Alex, and we'll catch you in the next one. SD card reader slot. Is it?
It doesn't sound right, does it?
No, it's what?
Mate, we're gonna have to have some blue
SD card slot.
SD card slot.